Hi, and my name is Nicholas Mighty. I'm really excited that you're here watching this video on such a beautiful day. I hope you're really well and I hope you're doing great in everything that you do, because that's all that really matters, right? Being relentless, that's everything, right? So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to deal with the inevitable that's in life and in business, right? How to deal with the inevitable. So how do you deal with things that are most likely going to happen anyway, right? Many times when we set out to do different things, or if, life in general, to do life, we are not told upfront what's going to happen. And then we wake up to a surprise. Boy, things are happening and I don't know what to do. And, we tend to keep, being surprised. But one thing I like to do always and always is to study patterns. Study the patterns and get to understand how things work, right? Because there is a way things work, right? Whenever you have some sort of value, somebody is coming to steal it. It's not always true, but somebody might most likely come to steal it. But there is an invisible enemy that always wants to steal it and is almost guaranteed to come and steal it, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hey, what are you waiting for? On this channel, I create content that's to help you to become better in life, to become a better man, a better woman at what you do in your business, in everything that you do in life, right? Being able to deal and to grow a viral business, right? So that's what I share on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe even right now. And at the end of this video, leave me a comment and let me know how, your thoughts and how you deal with the inevitable, right? So let's dive right into dealing with the inevitable. First of all, what am I talking about when I say the inevitable stuff? I'm talking about the things that should be expected, right? And that includes, the challenges, the different hardships that we find, the challenges of life, they happen. Whether you're doing a business, whether you're, running a business or you're running your own life, there are things that will happen. Challenges will come. They will fly at you at some point in life, right? But how do we deal? That's a big question. And that's the question that I want to answer today, right? And my first point, and I'm going to break down, my answers in three, right? My first point in dealing with the inevitable is to understand the seasons, right? Life is like the seasons. Just like there is winter, there is summer, there is, fall, and any other seasons, depending on where you live. Some of you have 2 seasons, some of you have 3, probably some of you have 4, right? But when winter is coming, you wait for it, you prepare, right? You buy some clothes, right? Warm clothes. You don't buy, simple shirts for winter, right? You wait for it and you plan for it. That's very, very important. It's kind of something that we do for the weather, right? But one thing that we must remember is that life, whether you're doing, like I said, whether you're running a business, it doesn't matter what you're doing. It's still life. When you run a business, I always say, and I always, advise, I always tell people, never separate your business from your life, right? And I'm talking about it in this sense. Your life is basically, your business should be your life if you're to run it really, really well, right? In order to avoid the things like work-life balance, where you feel like, oh, I'm missing out on life because I'm working so hard. That's very, very important to note. But going back to the point of the seasons, life is like the seasons. And when you understand life and when you understand what's expected to happen anyway, then you will deal better, right? You will deal better. You will prepare. Now, what are some of the things that I expected to happen? Challenges. Every time you have an idea, it will seem brilliant and it will look like, it's everything, and then once you get started to do, it feels like, well, something just happened. All right, it just feels like I don't have the drive anymore. And then suddenly you feel like there is something better. Suddenly you feel like maybe you could have done something better. And sometimes you feel like, well, it's not as easy as I thought, right? And that will happen for every idea that you will ever get. Very, very important to note. So when you face such things, the answer is not in turning away. The answer is not in running away or, saying, well, now that, this is really hard, I think we can try something better. That's not the solution. The answer to these things is to stay and really commit. Very, very important. When you understand the season, it's just like life. When you have winter coming, how many, I don't think some people say, well, winter is coming and it's here now, but I don't feel like continuing, so I'm going to stay here. No, you get through the winter. And that's exactly what should happen. But a lot of times it's not what happens. But that's the reason for this video. So how do you deal? Just go through it, because it will come to an end anyway, right? Those times when you get started and you feel like all hell just broke loose, they will not continue. They will eventually finish. The other way to deal with the inevitable that I'll share in this video is developing a relentless heart, right? Now, heart is everything, right? Heart is everything. So many times we do things and we go about, and the manner in which, or the way in which we do what we do, all depends on, our heart. It depends on what we have inside. It depends on, that level of being unstoppable, right? You can't go out. So whether you're timid or not depends on what you've got inside, right? But how do you develop that heart? I remember a story, again, I read from a book, right? Powerful story of a lady, and her son. The lady, got cancer, and of course she was on life support at some point. And the son was busy, doing business, up and about different cities, right? So he receives a call that, I think from his sister. He received a call from his sister. His sister was watching the mother at life support. And the mother, the sister says, look, mom has been taken off life support, right? And she's going to die anyway, okay? The doctors have said, there's no need for you to come. Now, he was cities away, and this is the US. So, when I talk about another city, you understand what I'm talking about if you don't live in the US. So the sister says the doctor has already declared that she will not make it. So there is no point. She's being taken off life support. And there's no point for you coming home. Don't try to rush. Just take it easy. Accept that she's gone. But he really wanted to say goodbye to the mother, right? Because the mother was basically gone, according to the doctor. But the sister said something. The sister said, don't mind the doctors. Come as fast as you can. I'm going to tell mommy to hold on until you get here, right? Now, that's what I call being relentless. What happens is he took a flight to get to, the hospital where, the mother was, to get to that city in the first place. And then to get to the hospital, he took a taxi. And that took about 12 hours, right? Now, 12 hours, the mother held on without life support. But what happened? So what really kept her, waiting? Right? Because the doctor said the brain is gone, the brain is not functional, nothing else is functional. But, her daughter whispered and said, look, mom, you gotta hold on. My brother is on his way. He's coming to see you and say bye to you. So hold on. So what kept her waiting, right? That's what I call, and according to him, that's what he said, was being relentless, having a relentless heart. And that's one component that is really, really important in life. And in business, if you're going to run anything, you've got to be relentless. There are times when your brain is going to stop functioning, when you think all your thinking ability has ceased and nothing else matters. You can't support your idea anymore. There is no, there is no brain power, that can produce any kind of miracles, right? So what happens within that time is you've got to believe, develop a strong heart. And how do you develop a strong heart in the first place? Practice it. Practice not giving up. Practice believing in your idea even when nobody else does. And another way, which is my last point on how to deal with the inevitable, is to always remember the why, right? And the why I'm talking about is when you first started, when you first received that idea, when you first got your idea, everything seemed brilliant, right? And you had this reason, I want to look after my family. Maybe I want to give my wife the best ever vacation. Maybe I want to get our family, the best life ever, right? For the rest of my life. And that's the reason for you having gone into business, or even doing whatever you do. It doesn't really have to be business, but usually many times if we don't write down that why, things become difficult, right? Because that why is so strong that it actually gets you started. It's so strong that it pulls you and pulls all the resources and gets you arranged and gets you started, right? Which is why it's really powerful and it's worth remembering when the times are difficult, when the seasons are really vague, when times don't make sense, when it's really cold during the winters of life. It's very, very, very important to remember your why, because it will save your business, it will save your idea, and it will save your life. So those are my points on how to deal with the inevitable in life and in business. Yes, there is some inevitable stuff. There are seasons in life, just like they are in business. There are seasons when things will seem tough. And I use the word seem tough because eventually it all clears up, right? So thank you very much. Please leave me some comments in the description. Let me know how you deal with challenges, with circumstances, with the inevitable, like I've called them. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.